Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christian with PerfectStockAlert.com, a 100% free service for smart investors and traders. All we ask in return, please refer a friend. Today is Tuesday, June 11th, 2013. We'll be looking at a few different charts and bouncing around different continents. So let's have a look at them, and I will cover some U.S. charts as well. Right now, before I go into this, I'm not going to show you everything that I've updated today, and it's important that you know that. Whenever you go to the free website at PerfectStockAlert.com, I update these charts nightly. And actually today I've uploaded several of them, so there's a lot that have had the stop loss limit has been advanced to lock in more gain, and others that are showing brand new opportunities setting up. So this is one of those to talk about, but I won't cover them all, so please go to the website and check them out there. I'll show you where in a minute. Looking at Toronto Stock Exchange, the TSX, you can see we've got massive move to the downside. There's many different ways to read this, and I've basically followed it the whole way for you guys. The main thing to show you here, what we talked about before when this black circle right here was warning that the actual 50-period moving average was preparing to cross below the 200-period moving average. So we're converging there before that cross. That's the death cross whenever that happens. I know it sounds all ominous and everything. It's just a bearish signal basically, which you should have known anyway, but just from all the sell signals and so on. But what we have here is 6 consecutive days to the downside, 1 positive day. That's good because it resets the count. Remember, 5 to 6 days in one direction is normal. You get beyond that, and now you have an abnormal situation that's not sustainable. When you have 6 days to the downside, then 1 up day, then you have another down day, you just reset the count. So I'm fine with that. Another thing to point out here, this particular inverted hammer candlestick formation is below the 50-period moving average. It's telling you to sell away from the 50-period. Price is going to be getting away from that and finding resistance. That's normal. In a bearish environment, in a bearish market, you find resistance at the 50-period moving average and bounce off of it. You get a sell signal like that. Okay, so this is the same thing, basically setting up all over again. After we came down here before, we got down here, we got a couple of signals I talked about before, and we'll talk about again. You have a massive sell signal below the 200-period moving average. That's also warning of a massive move to the downside. Then we get a massive bounce, test previous high, fail, shooting star, shooting star. Let's see, you could argue that one too. And then we get another one right here. So again, this is very, very telling for the bearish perspective on a bearish market. The confirmation you need here to get short or to buy puts would have to be taking out today's low. Even by 1 cent intraday tomorrow would be a sell opportunity with the stop set right here off of today's high, 1 cent above today's high. And then look for this to come down here and test this level. Quick glance here at the EMW, the Wilshire 4500. You can see that this bounce that we were talking about last week, you got the bounce, and that was it, and we rolled over. You got a couple things here. Number one, you got the hanging man candlestick formation. Remember, if it forms at the top of a pattern, it's not a bullish signal, it's a bearish signal. And then when you get confirmation by rolling over, getting that signal that you have today, that's that much more reason to anticipate nothing more than a bounce here. So you had this high peak, pull back, lower high, lower low, bounce again, nothing more than a bounce, no reason to be buying this. And then again, down here, no hammer candlestick formation. I warned when that happened, this is not a true bottom, it's just bouncing. And then we're going to come down here and take this level out. Once that's done, it becomes a lot clearer to bulls that we're breaking down here, we're getting to a bear market. In this situation here, again with the ultimate oscillator pointing out, whenever you're in a bull market, you typically find support at the 40 and 50 line there on the ultimate oscillator. That's where you'll typically find your support. You'll bounce up here above that 70 line. That's normal. Whenever you're in a bear market, that changes, and all of a sudden you find resistance up there at the 60 line. You don't get up to the 70 line. That's important to note. You've been in that condition for a bit here. You're rolling over. All these things are telling you the exact same thing. This move is not over, and it's still got more downside potential here. I'll be looking for a test of this low way down here. Quick look here at the SPX, the S&P 500 Large Cap Index. Basic same overall story here. A little bit more confusion because of the hammer candlestick formation for a lot of people. And again, I talked about this before. That was a perfect buy signal for a lot of people. A lot of bulls were going to go in there and try to buy it, but I anticipated it was nothing more than a bounce, and I wasn't going to buy it. Well, we've had the bounce, and we started to roll over. It still has to take out this level to confirm that that's just a bounce. You could do a lot of things in here. In fact, you could even do this if you had some kind of news and test it high still. So again, I'm not advancing the stop, but again, right now the odds are favoring the bears, and then we go down here, take out this low, and it'll be confirmed. The main thing here, same basic overall story with the high points on the ultimate oscillator indicating bear market conditions, but there's something else here that was interesting, and it only happened on the SPX, but it's still very telling. Whenever you have a strong bear market, you will find something new happen. Typically in a bear market, well, I won't go into all the details. The main thing here is that in a strong bear market, you will find resistance at the middle Bollinger Band line. This is the little blue dotted line right here. It's basically just a a 20 period simple moving average. Well, whenever you start to find resistance at that in a strong bear market, you will find that, and then up here we hit it again and we ricochet off of it. That's interesting. That's actually indicating there's more strength to this bear market than I am currently aware of, and I'm already pretty bearish, but that right there shouldn't have happened as early as it did, and so that's interesting to me. Quick glance here at the NASDAQ. I'm not going to cover the Dow today because I did that yesterday. You can just watch yesterday's video. I did it pretty good there, so you know everything I know. Looking at today's activity, that's pretty clear right there. When you got a nice gravestone doji or a shooting star, you can't really call it a shooting star because shooting star is supposed to actually shoot. This doesn't, it gaps down. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then it forms that, makes a move to the upside and sells off. Obviously, bears are stronger here. That's why they can press down again. Another thing to point out is you're gapping down. That typically doesn't happen unless you start to get frothy conditions in the market and you're losing your bid real fast. There's nobody willing to buy, and it just gaps down. And that's something else that I could show you on the longer term, the 2007, 2008 time period. The market peak actually started to do that as well, and it's something to take note of. You've also seen the same thing happen in Japan. You've seen the same thing happen in Europe on many of the charts. So again, that's telling as well. So just be paying attention to it. Again, what we have here is the sell signal, but we need confirmation. If you take out this low, then of course it would be a sell position at that point in time. Again, I'm not advancing the stop here because there's lots of things that could happen here. We can still bounce around, and that's why I got my stop still set way up here off the high. As long as we stay under that level here, that's fine. Once we take out this low here, then you'll have a lot more strength on the bearish side. Right now, bulls are still fighting. They still think that this is a good opportunity to buy. And in fact, this signal right here fooled a lot of them into buying this market. But in fact, it was thus far nothing more than a bounce. Lower series of highs, lower series of lows. You trade with the trend, and that is currently down. Quick glance here at the French CAC 40 index. Again, this is one of the charts that I've updated with a sell signal here, and there's several others that you should check out. And this is an immediate sell position here, potential because of the shooting star formation that formed the day before. And so you've got confirmation today, and that's why we've advanced the stop to this high point here, and we're watching this continue to trade lower. Note again the location of that sell signal. Up above that 50 period moving average, or on the 50 period moving average. That is telling you the price is going to veer away from that. And again, you knew that because this low point here was no hammer candles, like we told you when that bounce happened. This is not actually going to hold, it's going to break down. Look to test this level here. That means you'll be doing this number over here, right? Okay. One more detail to point out here, just in case you missed it. Big gap from this point to that point. Again here. That's something that you start to notice whenever you see that happen on charts after a massive run to the upside and then gap down real quick, especially with larger gaps. Then it's important to know that your bid behind the market is gone, and you're starting to fall apart, and it begins, of course, to create this downward move here. For those of you guys who'd like to see my personal charts on the 19 major markets I track for you at perfectstockalert.com, you can go right here to the market section, market charts right there. I update them nightly with my stop loss limits and signals that I find on the chart, so you can check them out for any particular country that we track for you, okay? God bless, take care, enjoy the evening, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Please take a moment to review our disclaimer. The information provided herein is our opinion only. Under no circumstances do any statements here represent a recommendation to buy or sell securities or make any kind of an investment. You are responsible for your own due diligence. To summarize, we do not provide investment advice, nor do we make any claims or promises that any information here will lead to a profit, loss, or any other result. These videos are for educational purposes only.